Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show. Yep. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
Happy Wednesday night.
Deuce and Mo.
Morgan, Reagan, how are we doing?
So
on a
good.
Wednesday?
Fantastic.
Yeah. What up, Deuce?
Hey.
So good.
Hey, Morgan.
Hi. Yep.
I'm rooting for y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go, Kane.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to feel this way in the preseason.
No.
I don't think I'm supposed to feel this way when the season hasn't started. It's October 15th. Oh, get this off of me. My goodness, there is so much to talk about tonight. And we're excited to be live after another Kings loss. Again, Morgan, I mentioned this to you. The last couple of podcasts, the Kings have not won a preseason game since October 2023. They did not win one last year. And after tonight, they are 0-3 in the preseason after a 109-91 drubbing.
Whatever.
To the hands of the Clippers.
Whatever.
Wow. Clippers look good, by the way. Those Clippers look like they might be contending
I
this
feel
year.
emotional.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to cry.
Are you being serious?
A little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you being real
This
right
is
now?
too much. I think my emotions are just like,
Oh,
what?
that makes sense.
No, I'm like,
makes sense.
I'm just like I'm like overstimulated and there's just too much.
Just too much entertainment.
Yeah.
With me here.
No.
Are you being genuine right now?
You know what's so funny? I don't know if I was like gonna start crying because I was laughing, but then I was just feeling the tears like in my eyes. But I'm like laughing and smiling. I don't know if I'm okay.
If you're feeling this way, and it's the third preseason game. It's not even, we haven't started the season yet.
Are you sure?
Oh, no. Guys, I have some breaking news at this hour.
It's okay.
It is not March.
No.
No. It's October 15th, 2025. How are we doing tonight?
Sometimes you just process in real time and it's like, whoa.
Well, we can process together all season long, of course, live after every single game. We did drop a video earlier today about the news. Russell Westbrook is now a member of the Sacramento Kings. Not official yet, but Shams put it out there. That'll be official in all likelihood tomorrow. Russ will join the Kings in LA. He signed a 1-year minimum deal with the Sacramento Kings. Be the backup point guard, but after tonight might be the starting point guard. I don't know.
Gonna make me cry.
Oh, man. If you have not done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I promise we will have fun no matter what.
No.
Our rule this year, we got to be able to laugh once a pod. Pod hasn't officially started, but I'm going to go ahead and chalk this up as a laugh a couple of times early on the show. Yeah, seriously, so much to go over tonight because not only do you have the game, we got our first glimpse of life without Keegan Murray. Okay.
Jesus.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
We also got good news with Keegan Murray. He agreed to for some are like, I don't like Keegan, but a 5-year, $140 million extension, $28 million per year
Love
for
that.
Keegan Murray. I love that. They signed Russell Westbrook to a deal. Oh, and we got an alert during the game that Domantas Sabonis did not return to the game due to a right hamstring injury.
Don't like that.
What's the severity? We do not know, but hamstrings, not good. Not good, huh?
Usually when you do something to your hamstring,
No.
You need it.
You do need it. You do need it.
So that sucks.
Get ready to learn Eubanks, buddy.
Wait, what'd you say?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
Shout out to the people, the basketball sickos who are joining us live tonight, including Ellis and Wes. What's up, V? Omar, Cameron. Bad News Sour Grapes is in the building. Force goes Fabio, AA Ron, Dennis, Nick. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm skimming through the comments right now. Daniel says, let's be real, Mo. We know where the team is heading. We just don't want to admit it yet. Okay.
I mean, it is preseason,
Yeah.
but like that is why like we can feel any feel we want to
Yeah.
feel.
Primo says, got to be honest, I think I'll have more fun this year without the doom pit in my stomach after every loss. Yeah, if you go in with the proper expectations.
Hey, I like that.
A-Beam says, Brody is going to save us.
Mhm.
Pray for Bojo says, no, I'm going to cry. Oh, Cameron says, loving the vibes, though, at least in the pod. Oh, dude, our vibes are going to be so high this
You
year.
can't take away our vibes. No one.
Anyway, we should stop messing around and, I don't know, start the pod.
Hey. Ugh. Ow. Okay.
If I can
Turn back time. What would you do? No, I don't want
What's
to
a
know.
song about fast forwarding? Like, I don't know.
Chat GPT.
Oh, okay.
What?
Maury, you used to give me shit about Chat GPT. I think you have a way too in-depth of a relationship.
Song about fast forward. Hey, girl, is there a song about fast forwarding?
What do you think your voice for Chat GPT sounds like?
There's
Fast Forward by Debbie Gibson.
Yep.
Okay, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them.
Okay.
Oh, man. 4C Bar says, Mo, how is Monty McNair?
You saw me.
Monty McNair was at the game tonight.
That was awesome. It was good talking to him. I saw him.
Yeah.
And he's still in town. James had put that out there.
Did you
on a
ask him
tweet.
why he traded?
No.
All right, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Deuce and Mo. We're coming down. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, recording this on a Wednesday night. Our podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery, and what a day it was in Sacramento. Holy shit. News upon news upon news, and another fat L tonight. Kings fall to 0-3 in the preseason after a 109-91 home loss to the LA Clippers. But in the morning, we find out they agreed to a one-year deal worth the minimum with a former MVP, a 9-time All-Star, Russell Westbrook. Fast forward later in the day, we find out they agreed to a contract extension with Keegan Murray, a 5-year, $140 million deal. That's $28 million per season. Oh, and then we get some tough news tonight as Domantas Sabonis did not return due to a right hamstring injury. We do not know the severity of it. So, holy shit, a lot to process. Morgan Reagan, how are you? Thumbs up.
Not even going to talk anymore. Just a thumbs up.
In our pre-show, she was near tears. She doesn't know why. She feels like she's overstimulated.
Yeah.
It's because it is October 15th, and in some ways it feels like March 19th. Mm-hmm. But the season hasn't started yet, and there's been so much that's happened, and Wow. Where do you want to start tonight? I like how I put that on you.
I know, and I'm okay with that. I think we can start with the game, go into Russ, finish off on Keegan.
Finish with Keegan, yes. Yes, we can do that.
Okay, great.
Look, I think we got our first glimpse into life without Keegan Murray, and it wasn't pretty. The Kings elected tonight to mix some things up, and that's something that Doug Christie had talked about. I was like, hey, we're going to mix up lineups, trying to figure out what we want to do at the 4 spot. Tonight, they started the veteran Dario Saric at the 4. Look, they're going to get picked on in these situations, and the Clippers have a front court that's athletic. I mean, I think Saric was defending Derrick Jones Jr. at times. They would try to get him in action. They would target him. The idea, I think, with him is like he's a veteran, knows the game, could space the floor, but you see the challenges there. You can't play as fast if the three-pointer's not going. That's challenging, and then defensively, it's just going to be challenging.
Absolutely, and that is what we saw. That is what we predicted, analyzed, broke down before it was even happening, and that's what it was. That's what it looks like. I don't know. It's not a surprise, but like there's always that glimmer of hope before you actually see it. Like, but can it?
Yeah, what if it works?
Yeah, but it didn't.
It was an interesting start to this game, too, because Sacramento got off to a 16-8 lead. And it wasn't totally pretty, but it was like, oh, okay, they're getting some stops, and they're playing with pace, and they're moving the ball. Shots may not be falling, but all right. Levine, Sabonis, getting it going, a little two-man action. That seems like that's growing. Okay, that's encouraging. But then the Clippers bench came in, featuring Chris Paul and John Collins and Brooke Lopez and Nicholas Batum. Who was the other one I'm missing in that? Oh, Chris Dunn. And they absolutely took over this game. They closed on an 18-2 push. That extended into a 25-3 run by the Clippers entering the second quarter. And yeah, I mean, you see the Kings' weaknesses on full display in this one.
Size.
And, it's definitely the size. I mean, I think when the Kings look their best and when they've looked their best in the preseason is when they've been able to get out and run. The problem is when you don't get stops, you can't really run as much.
That has been the theme since the beginning of the season. That has been what was, again, predicted going into the season. Well, like, if you can't play defense, what is your offense going to look like? How are you going to get into that early offense, into some of those early actions, and be able to push on a team and play fast like you want to play with this identity if you can't get those stops? I was hoping that we would just see some sort of, again, still so early on, like a connection of some sort could still happen on the defensive end. But I think realistically, we are seeing that there's not this huge jump it's going to take with what you see now.
No, I mean, it's not happening.
We're all on
the
the same page there, right?
Like,
we're all there? Okay. And then you see it again tonight against, obviously, the Clippers, who have really good players, have depth.
A lot of depth, yep.
Yep. Size, all those things. And you just see, it's not even just like, oh, it's dominant and it's preseason and the Kings will figure it out. It's like, you see it go up against the Kings and it's just so glaring what the flaws are. It's not just, oh, the Kings are having a bad night of basketball. It was more and more glaring, especially tonight, of like what it's going to look like throughout the season against certain matchups, especially with that size and talent.
Yeah, and I was talking about this in our pre-show. I don't typically feel this way in the preseason. I'm not Mr. Overreact to preseason, but it's like, I think it's like the carryover from last year, and then like kind of seeing similar themes, right, and similar issues where like, where's the path? And we'll talk about Russ in a bit and how he may be able to help the team and maybe help some of the young guys. But this is just going to be a challenge until you're able to address some of the size up front. Malik Monk, by the way, did not play in this game. He missed the last couple of days of practice. They listed him as out with an illness. Look, I know nothing. This is full-on conspiracy Deuce checking in here, but like, is one of the things we talked about, if they're bringing Westbrook in, are they going to trade any of these guards?
Sure.
And how rare it is to see a trade before the season starts. Is it possible like he's being moved? I don't know.
You
But
never know.
At this point, he's out due to an illness. So
yeah. But I think why we're even speculating is because it's not the want of moving Malik Monk specifically. No. It's the want for moving guards or getting rid of guards. So then as you take on and bring in Russell Westbrook, you could at least see a little bit more of a path of where other people are getting minutes. Because right now, like, if he is still going to be on this roster, like, let's say he's healthy, he comes back from his sickness and he's good to go, it's mind-boggling what it's supposed to look like for Doug Christie when it comes to his rotations. One good thing, no, two good things. I think both, and we'll get into both of them, but Zach LaVine, but then also Nick Clifford, what I love about his situation right now is that it looks like it's going to be easy working him in. And that was one of my biggest concerns going into this season. Like, obviously I'm concerned about Keon and Malik and like time for everyone. But Neek, to me, is just so important to develop because he is a good player with good feel and needs to be developing the right way. And that is with NBA experience.
Yeah, I think he's going to be part of the consistent rotation.
Love
and tonight
that.
we saw him in a variety of roles, but he would come in for DeRozan. He was playing the three tonight. He was playing the three, but he was handling a bit too. I thought in that first quarter, he had one baseline attack where he tried to go jam it.
Oh, yes.
On Brooke Lopez's head.
Yeah.
And Brooke Lopez said, not today. Blocked the shit out of him. But that type of attack, love seeing that. He did not hesitate at all. He had some nice attacks. I want to see him to get some rhythm from downtown. He ended up being 2 of 5 tonight. He finished with 19 points in just under 19 minutes.
Well, even late in the game, too, I was texting you just like the other night. He looks like he carries himself with a different type of, I don't want to even say confidence, but a willingness to be aggressive when he's not fully with that starting unit. He's willing to take over. He's willing to go in the mid-range, shoot from the outside, take it in, make mistakes, do what he needs to do. And I really have been appreciating that early on from Neek Clifford.
Tristan in the chat mentions this. I wanted to tell you this because you probably missed this today.
Please.
The Kings are now the 3rd oldest team in the league. It's the Warriors, Clippers, Kings as the oldest teams in the league.
But I love it. He goes, but the Clippers are older. And they still...
Adding Westbrook today literally made the Kings the 3rd oldest team in the NBA. Oh, my goodness.
And it's not like... damn.
It's not like what?
It's not like old and super fast, you know? It's like... Or I don't know. It feels... It does... But it doesn't... When you look at these individuals, and we want to call them old in the NBA... I say old because like it's NBA age, right? And you just go, damn, like, how can that not work? How can that not just like come together and click? But what we're seeing is that it's not that pretty early on.
Yeah, so in terms of what Doug experimented with tonight at the 4 without Keegan, you saw Saric. Try to say that fast. You saw Saric.
You saw Saric.
You saw Saric start. Isaac Jones played some minutes. I thought Isaac probably looked the most comfortable he has in the preseason, which was good. He hit a corner 3, another corner 3 rattled in and out for him. I thought he was active. I think he had a putback that did not count. What Isaac ended up finishing with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and like 13 minutes of action. But okay, like if you're popping athletically and you can run the floor and you have the ability to hit the corner 3, I think I lean Isaac over Saric at this point because he's just younger. I need to move. I know the spacing may not be great, but if he does have the ability to hit a corner 3, which he's been working on, okay then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. They did go small a couple of times. Oh, they also went big at once with they had Max out there with Eubanks.
That's what it was. Okay.
They also went small late in the second quarter. They had Schroeder, Levine, Clifford, DeMar at the 4 with Sabonis. Then they also had Schroeder, Levine, Ellis, DeMar, and Sabonis out there. DeMar at the 4 is just not going to work. You know, Clifford at the 4 is not going to work.
And I was hoping DeMar at the 4 would make more sense, because I was like, okay, even defensively, you know, you see where his struggles are defensively when he's closing out at someone. It's just like his feet are sticking a little bit, heavier legs, whatever. It's just not the same. That's fine. But how can you make those adjustments? I thought maybe putting at the 4 would make a little bit more sense, but it didn't feel like it.
Morgan, how are we going to get Eurobasket Dennis Schroeder?
Bro, I don't know. Ask him. Why don't you ask him at the next bracket?
I just haven't seen it from him in the first 3 preseason games.
Why is that?
I mean, everything just feels clunky. I just don't feel like they have a consistent playing style. In some ways, I'm like, dude, just run everything through Sabonis again. Let's run it through Sabonis and just like have guys move around and cut. And to be fair, I thought in the first quarter, there were moments the Kings got off to a good start. And they had, I think, a little bit early third, maybe it was, where you saw some of it. Like Sabonis found Schroeder on a backdoor cut.
Yeah.
That was nice, getting him moving without the ball. But I just haven't seen enough of like the flashes, the pop from him. And I'm like, okay, is this just the preseason or what? I just see a team that at this point doesn't have the size or defensive personnel.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing very fast.
They're not clicking.
And they can't shoot threes at this point.
Yes.
First 3 preseason games, they are 30 for 109 from 3. That's 27.5%.
Yeah, I mean, it's breaking news math, not a good percentage. I do keep looking at all the lineups that you always put on your notes, and it reminds me that it is preseason. I go, okay, you know, I'm seeing so many different lineups. It is preseason. But then I go back to what my eyes witnessed tonight, and it's not just about the names in these awkward lineups and just trying to see what you have, and especially if guys are going to be out, and especially even if Domas is going to be out, you just never felt the connection. And to me, for so many good individual basketball players, it's surprising that, because they're getting the freedom to be creative, to have the creative freedom, to play freely, to go through these actions and just play basketball, and being told, you know, bring out this different type of intensity. And that's all you need to do. And you're going to see minutes and time and have fun. And like, I don't even think it's necessarily just the other team crushing and dominating. It's part of it. But I also feel like the way it's not connecting and not clicking, it's just like, ew.
Well, one of the things that we talk about a lot with this Kings team is like, oh, they don't have size, and it always is about the defense at that point, right? But it's also offensively.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you're just there's just bigger teams out there that can guard you, and they make life more challenging. You can have a nice move and try to create some contact, but if the guy's like 6'8", built well, and can take that blow, you're not getting the separation you need to get that shot off at the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They take up space, and this Clippers team that is so connected defensively.
Absolutely.
Jeff Van Gundy, Ty Lue have done an unbelievable job, and they just have guys flying around everywhere. It's amazing that you could be that locked in defensively when you've got a whole bunch of older guys coming off the bench, but it's discipline, it's IQ, it's understanding angles, it's shooting the gaps, it's being long. Like the Clippers check a lot of those boxes, and you could see how productive they're going to be in the Western Conference. And I think they did make life more challenging, obviously, for the Sacramento Kings. And you see the weaknesses. Hell, you know, the other thing we talked about so much during the preseason is like, dude, what's a backup point guard situation? And this is before they got Russ. Well, you watch a game like tonight and you're going, yeah, like you see why they added Russ. And I know everybody in the league is kind of clowning, like, what the hell are the Kings doing? But like, this team needed some sort of backup point guard. I think some people today are going, after watching Schroeder in the preseason, thinking, wow, why give him $13 million a year the next 2 years with that partial guarantee in year 3, when you could just sign Westbrook for cheaper outright and then just figured out a different, veteran backup point guard.
Sure.
I mean, that's what some people are looking at this point. But
you weren't feeling that after his EuroLeague basketball.
Sure. I think Schroeder's going to be he's a better player than he's playing right now, but it has not looked good.
No, that's a fair analysis. And I think it's just tough that it hasn't looked good in a couple of games now, and it's like from the start. And I understand completely that it's preseason and that they only got so much time together in training camp before they actually put it out there in front of another team. I completely get that. But they're too good of professional basketball players, again, individually, that it's like mind-boggling to me that it's looked how it's looked.
Yeah. It seems like offensively it's been a struggle. Defense, yeah.
It's just weird. Just weird.
Levine's looked great to me in the preseason, by the way.
I agree. He's turned it up a notch defensively. He's sprinting down the floor both ways.
He's pushing. He's attacking the rim. The shot's always nice. He only made 1 3 tonight, but his 3-point shooting's been, obviously been really awesome the last few years. And, got a little pick and roll game going with Sabonis, which was encouraging.
Yeah. I feel like their connection in the 2-man game, you see them working on that at practice. It's something they're understanding their flow a little better, which is it's nice to see. It was understandable at times at the end of last year when it wasn't clicking, it wasn't working, not only because of all the other chaos that was going on, but also because they're still trying to learn each other. And for them to kind of have a little bit more under their belt early here, I go, okay, just give it more time. And let's see this team just work on that a lot.
I know we briefly talked about Neek and that attack he had, but what's kind of jumped out to you watching his play? We mentioned the 19 points. What do you like so far about what you've seen?
Well, he can handle the basketball, and that's been even more so than I thought. I've talked about his feel throughout this entire preseason, and when I say his feel, it's like the understanding of when to go. Like, he's still making his mistakes, still passing the ball or trying to get a shovel pass some way, and arms are coming through and should have made a bounce pass, whatever, right? But I feel like he's learning from his mistakes as he's going through these things. And it's early on in his NBA career, in his rookie year, and with this team. And that, to me, has been very encouraging. He's fun to watch when he's out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then today, there were a couple of times he had to deal with Harden, and Harden pulled his bullshit. Yep. Not really bullshit, just veteran Harden stuff. And baiting the rookie a little bit,
Welcome
he's going for
NBA.
a steal, but, Harden's so good at making sure he's getting those arms up. But, yeah, that's part of the NBA game. And so just good experience for him. And, that's where I'm at this season. I just want to see that growth from Neek. I need some hope that, do they have something here? I think he has a chance to be a good player in this league. I'm not sitting here today going, dude, that guy's going to be a star. But you see glimpses of what could be a productive player. If he can consistently hit the three, he's got a good feel. I think he has the tools to be a good defensive player.
Yes. And exactly. I think that's just going to come with NBA experience and time, minutes on the floor. But to be an impactful player, because you're not always going to draft, obviously, you're not going to draft a whole bunch of superstars. Some teams somehow figure it out, but you're not going to have that all the time. But you're also seeing in this day and age of the NBA, it's not about just having a big three. It's not about having just a good starting unit. You got to have depth. And that was something that you saw with this Clippers team tonight. And that, to me, wasn't surprising, but what made it surprising to me is how much we haven't been talking about the Los Angeles Clippers even in this offseason of, holy shit, what are they going to do this year in the league? Again, I know it's just a preseason game, but I think it was really telling seeing what type of depth and veteran depth and big, long people. It was impressive.
Dude, Chris Paul, just... Again, I know it's against the Kings, so I'm trying to caution myself from being crazy about the Clippers. But when you see Chris Paul with that second unit, by the way, he had 9 assists in 9 minutes of action at one point in this game. He ends up with 10 assists in his 18 minutes, but 9 assists in his first 9 minutes of playing tonight. He's 40 years old. but he gets in that 2-man game with John Collins, and you've got Lopez out there. So, like, you're putting the big in the action, and you've got the roller, which is John Collins. You know he's a lob threat, a guy that can dunk on your head, right? Finish above the rim, freak athlete. And then you got Brook Lopez as an option.
Yeah.
That you could just kick for 3. And they did that. I mean, Lopez was unconscious at one point. I'm like, dude, Sharich was in his face, buries a 3. He's banking shots in over Isaac Jones. There's one where Sabonis overhelped, and he was slow to recover. You can't leave Lopez open. Do not leave Brook Lopez open. That's what he wants to do. But that second unit looks really dangerous.
It does. And I mean, so that's their second unit. And then even go to someone like Zubac's, his ability to turn around high off the glass jumper. It's beautiful.
I didn't even think he was that good tonight.
I know, but he had a couple of those. What did he end up with? Okay, so like he had maybe one of those that I saw, and I was just like, holy shit, that can just be so dominant alone, just how he can elevate over someone, but just the touch off the glass. They just have so many different bigs that have different skill sets that are capable of stretching the floor, of being a lob threat, of getting that pretty turnaround jumper. And I'm just like, wow, you have it all there.
I feel like they've got the total package this year. The age thing, I could see why people would be concerned with it. But, you know, when those guys aren't playing big time minutes, you know, I mean, obviously everything hinges on Kawhi staying healthy. But John Collins, by the way, tonight, 24 points, 6 rebounds in 18 minutes.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Brook Lopez, 16 points. He was 6 of 8, 4 of 5 from 3 in 17 minutes in this game. Those two destroyed Sacramento in this game. And then Chris Paul, 8 points and 10 assists. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I look at this Clippers squad, and I know there's so much talk about Oklahoma City. Like, to me, they're the top of the West.
Sure.
And so much love for Houston after adding KD. You know, what Denver was able to do, kind of retool their group with adding Cam Johnson
Tall
and Bruce
starting
Brown and
lineup.
Hardaway, and then you got Jokic. But this Clippers team, they defend. And if Kawhi's healthy, Harden's been really good. They've got more athleticism now. They've got some spacing. They have different looks they can give you to your point.
Well, and even with the Clippers, I know over the years, for so long, their identity has been if healthy, when healthy, if healthy. It would, like, name the guy within the rotation. But I feel like finally, and I could be wrong, it's early on in the preseason, but I feel like they're taking over what they kind of finished even last year, bringing into this year and showing like, we're going to have more depth.
Yeah.
We are going to have a nicer looking roster where everyone understands that they need to step up if Kawhi isn't healthy, if name that person is not healthy.
For like the 8th time tonight, I'm going to say, I know it's preseason, but looking at some of the numbers tonight, Clippers shot 26 free throws in this game. The Kings shot only 8. Not getting the line. That is not good. Kings were 9 for 42 from 3 tonight. That's 21%. They end up shooting just under 41% from the field.
Some soft ref shit going on out there too, though. I saw a few where it was just like, okay, you're just giving that to Harden. Okay, it was IJ on John Collins.
Fine.
And it's like, he's in his space. Okay, so you're gonna.
That was a weak call. I'll give you that. That wasn't my point. And so you go to the ref
sorry,
angle. I'm going with the fact that the Kings only managed to get to the line 8 times. That's not blaming the refs.
I was going. I knew exactly where you were going with all that. I'm just saying, when I saw that number, I felt that from some of the calls that I saw the refs calling when the Kings were just playing physical, playing aggressive. I was like, really? But what I was glad about was that there weren't a whole bunch of calls, because this game wasn't over 2.5 hours like it was the first 2 preseason games.
2 hours, 2 minutes tonight for the preseason.
But no, you're right. When you do look at that number for the Kings, it shows like, hey, you got to be more aggressive just going to the paint. But they did have 50 points in the paint. Clippers, 48 points in the paint.
Man. We just did this the other game after Portland when we said, look, we don't know what Keegan's injury is. We'll see. It may not be a big deal. He's now out 4 to 6 weeks. Sabonis tonight with a hamstring. That's the other guy you just go, you can't lose him. And if you lose him, I mean, you got a sneak preview of it. You know, Drew Eubanks, he's a solid hustle big coming off your bench. But what I've noticed a little bit tonight, too often the Kings were getting Eubanks the ball and treating him as if he was Sabonis. And he's not. You know, I need Drew Eubanks running the floor hard in transition, maybe getting some good looks, getting some second chance opportunities, cleaning up around the glass, an occasional maybe corner three.
Yeah.
But like Schroeder a few times was like forcing him the ball late shot clock. And I'm like, this can't happen. We got to know the personnel a little bit. It's like the Clippers aren't even guarding him, and he's got to be more of a threat too if he's going to be from the mid-range. Like, it just looked rough out there.
I agree.
I mean, if that's going to be the case, and then, you know, what other options you have? You know, I think, you know, Cardwell looked, he was rebounding well when he got out there tonight. Raynell, I just haven't seen a lot from, to be honest.
I know. That one's been a little surprising to me. Like, I think he's a very confident guy, but you don't see his physical strength out there with some of these NBA bigs, and like what he needs to be out there is super strong, especially underneath. And obviously that's what Cardwell brings with his body type alone.
Cardwell, 7 rebounds, 5 of them offensive rebounds.
Damn.
And he did that in 13 minutes.
Okay.
He doesn't have a lot to his game. There's not a lot of offense there.
No.
But he can be a lob threat, and he can rebound and be a tough guy. Like, you could see him potentially carving out minutes, I guess.
Utilize these people to their strengths.
Yep.
Like, don't put them in these positions that just because it works with your offense or what you're trying to accomplish with what you're being told. Play freely. Make him a lob threat. Have fun with it. Get into the paint. Get to the basket. Make the defense collapse on you. And throw, like, how many times did we see that with Neek in that I think it was the last game against Portland, him and Cardwell, or it could have been the first game. I forget whatever preseason game it was, but it felt like those two were connecting, like with Neek driving.
Yeah, the
lob
Raptors
threat.
game.
Okay, perfect. Whatever game. But you know what I mean? You just, even for someone like Drew Eubanks, don't put him in a position that's going to make him look bad. I understand they're all still trying to learn one another and understand what they need to do. But as an NBA player, like, if you're in that position, then take over and do something else if you even know for a second that one of your teammates isn't capable or isn't great at something that you're trying to force them to do.
I want to talk about Sabonis' 3-point shooting, because the 3-point shot from Sabonis this year is different. Sabonis last year was like a 40% 3-point shooter, didn't take a ton, and he wants to take more. He took 3 threes in the first 2.5 minutes of this game tonight. He ends up 0 for 5 from downtown this game. It's a different shot. It's quicker. And what I could tell you, I don't think it's the move. It's not the move. You know, he would take his time from 3.
Absolutely.
You know, last year, in the last couple of years with Sacramento, you see him kind of gather the ball, kind of set up his shot, and then like focus and launch it. Yeah, it took a while, but NBA defenses aren't running out there to contest Sabonis' shot. Like, he
Especially
has that.
bigs are going to be in drop.
They're not.
Yeah.
And now he's got this quick release, and it seems like his shot is completely out of whack. There's no control with it. It's short. It's flat. I was watching him tonight. Like, it's one thing to miss. Like, you're going to miss shots.
Yeah.
But like Isaac Jones tonight, he met, 1 of 2 from 3, I think, for Isaac, I mentioned earlier. One buried it. The other one kind of in and out. You're like, oh, okay, good looking shot. Sabonis's weren't close tonight, and they haven't been close in the preseason. He may need to go back to how he shot it in the past.
It's interesting because I understand, especially in this league and especially when you're with the shooting coach, like, you're always trying to evolve your shot if there is this huge flaw. And that was, if you want to call it a flaw, or what he lacked was a quick release. And it is much quicker, but it looks much different. And I think with him being a big, there's a different type of finesse on it when he was taking his time, when he was lining up with the ball and everything. So it's not easy to go back and forth.
No,
either.
it's not. But last year, you shot it pretty well. You know, and I know the attempts want to be up, and he's trying to expand his game. Dude, I'm all about evolve your game and all that stuff. But like, holy shit. Like, it is quicker for sure. It is far less accurate so far. And maybe you just got to find a rhythm. Maybe he just hasn't found it like he did during the offseason. But what I've seen early on through 3 games, I'm like, oof, that looks rough. We got more of the podcast coming up. We'll be talking about Russell Westbrook. We did a full pod on Westbrook tonight or earlier today, but we'll go over some more things tonight. We got to talk about Keegan Murray. Yeah, he's out 4 to 6 weeks, but he just locked up a long-term 5-year, $140 million deal with the Kings. We got to talk about that as well. We should mention that we're presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
Need a drink?
Yeah.
Make sure to go to sentivovineyards.com. We are so excited that we get to partner with some of the best winemakers in California. They're local, they're Kings fans, they're amazing family. And if you are in the area, you must check out Sentivo Vineyards and Winery Tasting Room. It's located in Suisun Valley near Fairfield, which was just voted the best wine region in the U.S. Yep, that's right. Better than Napa, better than Santa Barbara County. It's just 40 minutes away from Sacramento, and it's seriously one of the most beautiful tasting rooms. We've been there a couple times. Like I said, the people behind the scenes at Sentivo Vineyards are amazing humans.
They're Kings fans.
And they're Kings fans. So if you can't get out there, though, make sure to just go to sentivovineyards.com. You can check out all their bottles there. That's also what we do. So thank you to our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
You should also tell them they're at 2316 Rockville Road in Fairfield. Also presented tonight by our friends over at Medic Ambulance.
Woo, woo, have an emergency. I don't know why I added that, but we've teamed up with Medic Ambulance, the trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. Medic Ambulance has set the standard in emergency medical services for over 45 years now. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is here to serve. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Okay, Morgan Reagan. We've had even more time to process the Russell Westbrook news. He's entering year number 18 in the NBA. Won an MVP in 2017, 9-time All-Star. After you watched the Kings tonight, we were like, okay, I see why they need to add Westbrook.
I didn't feel that necessarily, but I love what you hear from the response from people when things feel down. You always want that glimmer of hope. And so many people now going, oh yeah, okay, we need Westbrook. Oh yeah, we need his energy. Okay, we need his fight. We need the dog in him, whatever it is. And I'm with you. It's always nice to have that jolt of energy or see what you can get from something new. And it's like, yeah, we're already there a couple preseason games in.
Well, Paul George on his podcast was talking about what type of teammate. And I think that's like one of the big characteristics with Russ that you do like to hear about. Is like, okay, the guy's like a legitimate teammate. Here's what Paul George had to say about him on his podcast. That you would think, Morgan, I would have that like ready to go and like so fire. Close. And I don't understand why it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain why?
Probably because do you have the site muted or something?
Oh, let's find out. Let's try it again. Cool, man. Cool. I know why. The tab.
That's what I was saying.
No. Okay. Let's try that setup again.
Okay.
Morgan, go ahead. Can you, Jebediah, can you get rid of that last part? We were on delay, right? So they didn't see any of this mess up? Great. Cool. You know, one of the things I like about Russ, Morgan, is like, he is a good teammate, and you love what you hear from some of his former teammates. Here's what Paul George had to say about him.
I remember in Oklahoma, and the craziest thing, what I told the team was like, one thing about Russ, he had a special relationship with everybody on the team. He would have a conversation with Steve-O about New Zealand stuff, like rugby, and then he'll have a conversation with me about fishing. Then he'll have a conversation with Jeremy Grant on like anime. He had a connection with everybody on the team where you get on the floor, it was chemistry. Usually the star players, they not hoes, but like they got a special relationship with maybe 3-4 guys. And then the rest is just like, oh yeah, that's my teammate. But Russ was like, yo, that's my boy. That's my boy. Like everybody was his boy.
Everybody. That's good.
And it was dope. It was the craziest thing I witnessed.
So that's from Paul George's podcast. And I mean, this is not just Paul George saying this. There's so many teammates. Austin Reeves has raved about him. Every teammate he's played with fucks with Russ because his approach to the game, he's a leader, and he's going to approach the game with an intensity that really is kind of unmatched. And there's so much with Russ, right? Like he's going to do things
So
out
much.
that will frustrate people. He's going to take some bad shots, have some bad turnovers. He's going to smoke some layups. And those are the things that when you're scrolling social media, you see.
Yeah.
But if you watched the NBA last year and saw his impact with Denver, he did some great things there.
Absolutely.
He did some really strong things defensively. He played a big role with that team. He had some nice moments against the damn Clippers in the playoffs. He'll definitely have some moments here. But to me, I think this move for Sacramento isn't like, hey, we're trying to get that 2017 MVP back. They're trying to set like a standard here and a culture. And they think that Russ could help that.
Could be a part of that. And for this contract, it's like, sure, it's a no-brainer, especially because they don't have a backup point guard. I don't think I felt that confident about it even a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's pretty much ever since Keegan Murray's injury, and then recognizing how important it was to have depth in every position, because even if Dennis Schroeder went down, it was like, okay, well then who do they feel confident in being that backup point guard or being in that starting unit? And it's like, obviously Russ. And so, no, I think you go to what some of these former teammates say too. And it's like, yeah, he has that reputation around the league, and that's great to have in your locker room.
Michael Redd, this was a few months back, and I've shared this before on the podcast in the offseason, but he had a long tweet about Westbrook that I thought was worth sharing. He said, don't let media narratives about Russ Westbrook fool you. Yes, he doesn't play the media game, but he does play the actual game with unmatched intensity every single night. I've been in those NBA battles. Russ brings an effort that's A1. Practice, games, off-season workouts, never takes a playoff. The guy is a Hall of Famer for a reason. Does he always make the right play? No, but he's always trying to make a play. Big difference between that guys who don't put in the work or shrink in big moments. We're quick to criticize players who don't improve or don't care. Russ has shown up every night for nearly 20 years. That deserves respect regardless of how you feel about his style. Some journalists might not say it because Russ doesn't play their game, but the average smart NBA fan knows. We'll miss his intensity, passion, competitive fire when he's gone. This league needs more players who care that much, not fewer. That's from Michael Redd.
And well said. And the fact that he's putting that out there publicly, behind the scenes, that is being echoed. I know for you and I, or at least for me today, I had many people around the league reach out and say some great things about him, which I was actually surprised that, because he doesn't play the media game, and he doesn't play the media game with media members. He doesn't play the media game to make sure the narrative flows a different way. And for people to still feel that passionately about him as a basketball player, I mean, he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah, and we've heard his name for a while with Sacramento, and it's like, okay, what are the Kings trying to do here? What's this whole plan here? And I think it's really about what can Westbrook do for someone like Nate Clifford? What can he do? What can he give him that could help him for years to come? And I think just on the floor, Russ will help the Kings. He'll get them organized. He's going to push the pace. He's going to get into the rim. That collapses the defense. He could play make a little bit. Again, he was good enough to play a pretty decent role on a team that won 50 games last year. So, I know it's so easy to clown on Russ, and that's been like the thing for years and years, but the guy's a top 75 player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Is it changing the Kings' season and their fortunes? No. It's not. But the Kings are kind of where they are right now.
Absolutely.
We also did a full podcast on this earlier today. I wanted to share this. Yeah. Zach Lowe, Bill Simmons doing their NBA over-unders. They had some things to say about the Sacramento Kings, Morgan.
I hate this roster. I hate that Keegan Murray's already injured. I hate the vibes. I hate everything. I think this is going to be a year from hell for the Kings.
This is the single dumbest NBA roster. They have no salary cap space. They have no young studs. They have no under 25 player. You're like, this guy, they have no chance. There's no point for the team. They have one playoff series appearance since 06. They haven't won a playoff series since 04. They haven't made the finals ever. And they just seem to keep popping up whenever weird shit happens. I feel bad for the Kings fans because we got a taste of how cool it was once upon a time. 2 years ago, it feels like 20 with Light the Beam. And then they just decided to reassemble the 2023 Chicago Bulls with Sabonis. And that's where we are now.
This is the Hindenburg of NBA teams this year.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say? And I think part of it is like, this is a new front office that is trying to figure out how to maneuver this team. And something we talked about earlier today on the pod we did. It's like, yeah, what did they say that was wrong? The Kings cap space situation is not great. They've got a lot of money tied up into Sabonis, into Levine, into Malik, into DeMar. And then you look at their young guys. I'm a big Keegan Murray guy.
Yeah.
No one's confusing him for being a star in this league, though.
Right.
And Nate Clifford, like him, but we don't know. Other than that, it's like you like Keon Ellis. They don't have a star going forward. So yeah, this feels like a situation where they're just kind of stuck right now. And if you're the Kings, how do you maneuver this? You try your best to move off some of these guys going forward and try to be in a position to get a good draft pick next year. But you also like, all right, how do we maximize what we have here? And bringing in someone like Westbrook, does that help elevate some guys? Does it help them perform a little better to make them movable down the stretch? Maybe. Your thoughts?
Thanks.
Okay, I was just...
No, you're fine.
You could have gone in there.
I know. It's like I think it's a little. I understand. I'm with you with everything that they said. Like, find the lie in some ways. I always hate when the approach or the narrative is kind of like it just feels mean spirited. But I also am in this space where it's like a lot of those things are just like facts about this team, this roster right now. And where it is, and what sucks even more so is that what we just witnessed tonight proved their point even more, right? Like with this dominant performance from this team in the Clippers in the Western Conference that have everything that the Kings don't have. It's just a tough position to be in.
Yeah, it really is. But it doesn't have to be bad forever.
No.
You just slowly start moving off some of these guys and balance the roster.
Totally.
All of a sudden next year you get a top 5 pick and there's some buzz again. You've got some young talents. Like, here we go.
I don't get how or why this roster just like can't click a little better.
mean, you know why. I mean, if you
defense
if you just have length
like,
up front.
Yeah. I mean, it just it's just
you do know why.
I guess. Yeah. It's just tough.
Keegan Murray got an extension today.
He did.
5 years, $140 million. That's $28 million per year for Keegan Murray. Especially with where the cap's going. I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. And I know there's some people who do not like Keegan Murray. Some people who watch basketball and they're like, he doesn't do enough offensively. Look, I think part of it too is they got to give him more of an opportunity offensively. That goes to the larger issue of roster construction and going, hey, can we clear some of this up so someone like Keegan gets that opportunity to show what he can do? But bare minimum, Morgan, this guy is 6'8", strong, and can defend multiple positions. There is not a team in the NBA who wouldn't want Keegan Murray on their roster because of what he can do defensively. And I think he's got more he could show offensively. How do you feel about that deal? Are we going to regret giving him $28 million per year?
I'm going to say no right now. Absolutely not. I feel like, especially where the NBA is at, $28 million a year, like feels really good, especially for someone who has shown not only how he can execute on the defensive side, but promise on the offensive side, right? We've seen it a little up and down, especially from three, but like it's there. it's there. And this is how you, I guess, try and have some security with pieces that you believe in, especially when you're a small market. Like, you do it through the draft. You find a way to keep them here. You try and keep them happy. Right now, not in a good place, but still sign the extension. Like, obviously sees that there could be potential of being that guy and being able to play his game at the highest level and show his talent with this city and this organization. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to do that, right? As a basketball player, like, if you're a competitor, like, of course you want to be that guy. And that's like kind of where they're going with Keegan Murray, with that contract, with that security.
Yeah, and I definitely do think he's got to be better offensively. I definitely want to see that.
Yes.
And I felt like the preseason, I know he missed his threes, but I don't know. I felt like his attacking was better. His decision making was better. He felt like his handle was better, but it's like you only saw him in 2 preseason games before he got hurt. And now you have to wait and see again.
He's also the type of player where it's like, he's not this superstar player where it's like, well, then he just needs to play better offensively and get his and do what he needs to do. He can have those moments, but there also needs to be a roster around him that makes sense with his game too, right? Like, even if you eventually do draft a star player or somehow get a star, I keep saying star, like, I should define that a little bit more, but like, I don't know, someone who can just like take the fuck over, right? And I feel like right now there's just so much clunkiness even with these star names or star potential players, and it's not really working with Keegan in his game too, because everyone needs the basketball. But if you have a roster that makes sense around Keegan, so he can get his and he can play better and they can get him open and put him in a catch and shoot situation so he doesn't just have to always create on his own too. It's like, you can see some beautiful basketball being done. But with this roster right now, yeah, it's just like, it's not going to elevate his game.
I do feel like DeMar is movable looking at his deal. He $25 million this year, right? And then he's got $10 million guaranteed next year. That's got to be movable because he's still productive offensively. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to get anything that's going to blow you away, but in some ways, I'm like, it would allow Keegan to carry more of a load offensively. Allow, if Nick Clifford's getting some more run, allow him to go out and try to do some more things too. Because I think that's kind of the path the Kings need to go on. And that's the most irritating thing. I can't stand this is when people are like, the Kings have to rebuild. All right, they got to blow it up and rebuild. And I'm like, okay. Let's play that out. Who is trading right now for Sabonis' deal or Levine's deal?
Name the team. Name the team.
Name them.
Name them.
Name them. That's a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reference.
Good job. Sutton.
Oh, I hate Sutton.
I know.
Sutton.
Such a biatch.
Name them. Name them.
But you can't. You can't.
And you would have to attach a pick. So, like, part of this is, unfortunately, being patient a little bit here. Maybe trying to increase value by playing better. I don't know. It's just going to be tough. So you can't just do that. And this is why you're in the situation you are right now, headed into the season. But you know what? Things could change by February. You never know. I want to get some super chats in here too.
Yeah.
Let's get some shout outs to Patrick and Cameron, who remain members on YouTube.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you guys.
Shout out to all the people on Patreon too. Patreon.com/Deuce and Mo. Sebastian donated $2 and Keegan $140 million. A bit too much.
Nope.
I mean, I honestly thought it was going to be less than that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be maybe like 24-ish a year, but also it's at 28 a year. I don't know what the real guarantees are, if that's fully like just 28 million a year. What's that look like? But you look at the percentage of the cap, it's not that big of a hit. And for someone who is still young, has shown the ability to improve, especially defensively, and has size, you're not going to be like stuck with this guy. I feel like he's going to be a productive player in this league. And if you want to move on from him at some point, you'd be able to do it.
I completely agree.
Jacob donates $5. Appreciate that. He says, everyone has accepted this isn't a winning season. Westbrook brings fun basketball. If I can't have a winning season, I'm glad to have some fun basketball. Look, there's going to be moments. Westbrook's going to get standing ovations some nights. He is. Like,
I know.
You know what we did?
What?
We did guys who play hard, who are going to hustle and get the fans into it. Who, like Russ, like last year he had that play where he had that dunk in the playoff game and he hung on the rim for 45 seconds. The ref tees him up and then Westbrook saying, yeah, tee me up. That would get 18,000 off their feet in Sacramento.
Yeah.
He plays with an edge. And I think people will vibe with that, even if, like you said, it's going to be a tough year.
I'm with you.
Let's see here. Oscar. He's been a member for a year?
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah. He says, what about convincing the NBA to let Asia Wilson play for Sacramento?
Bro, she is so good.
She could start the floor
Honestly,
here.
like her size alone out there, yes, please.
Oh, man.
That turnaround jumper,
He also donated $5 saying, Russ really misses the playoffs. Agree? Yeah, but he's also playing some really awesome teams. Of course, he's part of those really good OKC teams. Played on a Houston team that was pretty stacked. Played with Jokic, played with LeBron, played with the Clippers. So, yeah, Washington. Man, he's bounced around since then. Sebastian also says, who's going to be the best point guard player in 2 years? Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox, or Dylan Harper?
dude. Dylan Harper?
Dude.
Whoa.
Whoa is right. He moves like De'Aaron Fox, but I feel like he's a better passer.
Okay.
The shooting looks pretty good too. Yeah, that's nice. And I like Steph Castle's game. I mean, just to have like a guy who's got that length. He's still super young. If he can dial in his shot, like he'll just be a productive player in this league. Can defend multiple positions.
Yes.
And De'Aaron is De'Aaron. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they'll end up trading De'Aaron in like a year and a half. That's my prediction.
Maybe.
But Dylan Harper looks like a certified stud. You just see his ability right now to read the game. And oh, by the way, playing with Victor. Oof.
Some nasty shit
Dude,
out
that's
there.
going to be a fun-ass duo.
I know.
It's going to be crazy.
Good for them.
We got to get to our player of the game, who I didn't want to do it tonight. Middle of the game, I was like, who's going to be the butcher and barrel player of the game? And I went, I'm not going to ask more in this. I'd love to know your suggestion. I said, Jebediah, I need you to come up with it tonight. I can't think about it. After watching
Really?
it tonight.
You asked
Put him in charge.
imaginary man over there?
That's disrespectful.
Okay.
Who would be your player of the game in this one? Your butcher and barrel player of the game.
I guess I don't know. I would go with like Neek, or I heard these crowd of little boys over to the right of me.
Yeah.
They started a chant, but it was just with themselves, and they're like, "When I say 6, you say 7. 6, 7, 6, 7." I was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm going, security, get these little shits out of here.
Thought it was funny.
All right, Jebediah, your first ever player of the game. Let's go to it. The
Oh.
butcher and barrel players of the game, the Big Red Dogs.
Oh my god! So it did still end up being a group. That's hilarious.
45 barks, 8 hot dogs, and 3 beers. Jebediah, I don't. What do you?
That's so stupid.
What do you
So
mean? I didn't even show
stupid.
that.
Oh my god. So dumb, Deuce. Oh,
The
you're
Big Red Dogs, 45 barks, 8 hot dogs, and 3 beers.
oh.
Shout out to our friends who are at Butcher and Barrel. By the way, we were there yesterday. A nice steak, nice ribeye.
It's the place to be too, obviously, before Kings games and away games, so you can go watch the game. They have an amazing bar, but they always have a game day deal, $35 for burger, shot, and beer. But also, you guys, we're going to be doing a huge giveaway, and we're going to give this away the game after Halloween, okay? Because it's going to be a Halloween contest.
Ooh.
Do you want me to just say right now?
I would love to know. We're going to give up a tomahawk?
A tomahawk dinner for 2, It's like a $200 and something meal, okay? But the giveaway,
Yeah.
whoever dresses up their best interpretation of however they want to go about this, of the Deuce and Mo podcast. People have been sending in photos over the last couple of years of dressing up as Deuce and Mo for Halloween. Hilarious. So cute. We love you. But then I'm like, let's just make it into a giveaway. Let's make it into a contest. You can do your interpretation of dressing up as the Deuce and Mo podcast for Halloween. You submit it to deuceandmo@gmail.com, or you can DM it, message us, Twitter, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Your interpretation, you don't have to dress as us.
You don't have to dress
something
as us.
involved with the podcast. You can
Anything
dress-
involved in the podcast.
You're like a fog machine.
Yeah, actually, that's hilarious. So,
Okay.
winner will be picked the game after
I
Halloween.
like that.
Thank
I
you.
like that.
Thank you.
Shout out to our friends at Butcher and Barrel. Go there before a game, by the way. It's, literally just like a block away from Golden One Center at 723 K Street in Sacramento. Shout out to them for their support. Also, I did a terrible job mentioning
What?
Jebediah's players of the game, the Big Red Dogs. There were 2 fans dressed as Clifford
I love
in
it.
honor of Neat Clifford. So that's the joke he made.
It was such a
Good one,
It
huh?
was a really cute bit.
Also, Sacramento's different. You got people dressing
I
as Clifford
know.
going to the game for Neat Clifford?
Preseason dressing like Clifford.
Preseason?
No, look, they keep the spirit alive. And that's why even whenever you do talk about Russell Westbrook,
Yeah.
and like, he's going to get a standing out, you're not wrong. And people are going to be super frustrated with him. And they're going to be super frustrated with this team. But like, if you also want to experience those highs and those special moments, you don't want to miss out. I'm going to
Yeah.
need some of those special moments, though.
There's going to be. It's just perspective. I think this whole... The last couple of years have been tough.
Yeah.
Last year with expectations is really tough, right? You get tomorrow and you're like, okay, you're take another step. Bounce back from the year before when you got bounced by the Pelicans in the play-in. And then it was like a colossal, like, oh my God, this is a shit show. And then like this year, I don't think anyone had high expectations, but it doesn't mean it's any easier, especially for us who have been watching Sacramento Kings basketball for so long. We're just like, we just want to see like a good 5-year run. And now you're in the spot where it's like, there's some intriguing names of players who were really awesome years ago, and they're all kind of together. It doesn't totally go. What's it mean in the stacked West? It's weird. And you just feel kind of stuck. And all we can do as people who consume the product is like, hope that it gets better over time and hang out together and have these, these chats after game where we just talk it all out.
I'd rather have basketball in my life than not have it. That's like always what I like in some of the tougher moments, you do reflect and you go, okay, well, at least I get to talk about something. I love it.
The good news, you do have your picks. You still have your picks.
Absolutely.
Your first round picks. So that is encouraging.
It's
It's not all lost. Like, dude,
totally not.
sometimes it takes one little stroke of luck.
I know. No, and it's not even about it's like, oh, it's just preseason. It's like when I say it's preseason, it's just to show like how early we are into why other teams are not looking to make trades, to make tweaks, to do all those things as well. And it takes 2 to tango. So we'll get there when we get there.
Nick in the chat says, at this rate, we'll be pushing 40 when we get playoff basketball in Sacramento. I don't think it's going to be 12 more years.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
Because you're so young.
That's already past you, right?
Yeah, I'm like 47.
Damn, dude.
I know.
That's tough.
So old.
Do you think the Kings will ever win a championship in your lifetime? If you live like a normal like life and let's say you lived until, I don't know, 84.
Damn.
Do you think the Kings win
Give me 92.
You're gonna live till
Healthily,
92.
yes.
Okay. Do you think if you live till 92,
Then yes.
that they will have won a championship in that span?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want it, so yes.
We played in like Europe. Sacramento relocated. They're playing in Dublin. The NBA's really
That would be-
expanded.
that would be dope. I'll take it. I move where they move.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Let's get to some final thoughts.
Final thoughts. One more preseason game to go. Thank God.
Lakers on Friday, and Russell Westbrook will be at the game. Will he play? That'd be insane.
But like, would it at this point?
I mean, he's been in the gym.
Yeah.
Knowing him, he'd probably want to play. He just like he's gonna be in street clothes and just says, "Doug, let me just go in for a few minutes." Can you imagine? No uniform.
He's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Jeans.
It's
No,
like, I got
they
this,
give him
Doug.
a uniform,
Yeah.
but it's jeans in a uniform. Yeah. One more preseason game. Russell Westbrook being added to this team.
These aren't final thoughts. You're just naming things that have happened.
That was like kind of processing my final thought of just like, it was, then I couldn't really think of it. And it was just, this is what came up in my mind. All right, here we go. That's my final thought.
Yeah, my final thought is
All right, here we go.
we're here. We're living and we're breathing. And as we embark on this journey that lies ahead, we're going to have a lot of moments like this. But we have to enjoy it together. No, in all seriousness, I know we'd spent like 25 minutes talking about Westbrook today and all the different layers to this thing. I think my final thought is I'm kind of hoping for a trade before the season. And I just think it would make this whole thing better for almost everyone.
Absolutely.
I think it would help the player that you move off of. It would hopefully come in and bring some front court help and then kind of balance your roster, allow it to make more sense down the road. It doesn't mean you don't have more trades to come. I've been consistent all offseason. Like this roster you're seeing come opening night probably won't be the roster you see come the trade deadline. So, I'm going to try my best to just understand that, and that I also have a belief that Scott Perry's not looking at this team today and going, dude, this is our team going for it. I believe in it. Like, that would be concerning to me. If we were sitting here today and the GM was like, dude, this is it. Like, we believe this is a championship caliber team or a playoff contending team. I think we'd all be going, okay, this is bad. But I think Scott Perry sees what we see.
Yeah.
And now it's about
I agree.
finding those opportunities to make those moves and building a winner here in Sacramento for like 5 years. Give me I'm going to be honest. I'll take 2 at this point.
I know.
2 playoff years in a row.
Same.
That's all I want. But I do think the Russ thing will be interesting just to see it, because I do think that Kings fans are going to vibe with him. And if you're going to have a tough year, you might as well have some fun moments along the way.
And really appreciate all of you too. Just quick shout out. See your comments
Basketball
throughout the
sickos.
show. Like, I know we don't get to read them all, but like when we get a look and read some, you guys are just so awesome. Yeah, you're all basketball sickos, and we just truly appreciate you also being here with us. It just makes it so much more fun.
We appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back live again Friday night after Kings and Lakers. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.